Ravi. Thanks for this.
And yeah, so let's welcome to our second guest lecture by Dr. Mahendra. He is a manager at the data science team at the Australian Red Cross. Yeah, thanks, Mahendra, for taking time for us. Yeah, if you're ready, please share your screen.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Mahendra Samarekram from Data Science and Analytics team at Australian Red Cross. First of all, thank you very much for participating in this presentation related to introduction to data science and analytics and in UTS. Through this presentation, I would like to present what's the thought process of a data analyst. What is the way a data scientist or data analyst should look and help business to enhance the decision-making process, especially when we're talking data-informed decision-making. First of all, I know everyone know what's the machine learning mean to like in terms of algorithm. So machine learning is set of algorithms which can be used to uncover pattern in the data. So if we have historical data, there are different types of algorithms. It can be classification model, it can be clustering, it can be regression. Depending on what kind of pattern we want to uncover in the data, there are a set of algorithms, and I think throughout this course and in advanced courses in the future, you will learn what are the supervised learning algorithms, what are the unsupervised learning algorithms, what are the reinforcement learning algorithms are. And you will understanding what are the hyperparameters in these algorithms and how different algorithms change based on the bias and variance in terms of hyperparameter perspective, and what are the trade-off and how to select algorithm. Now, I am not looking into this aspect in this presentation. Instead of, I would like to show you what are the opportunities in the industry for data scientists and how you can enhance your skills through this course. I would like to start this presentation in a strategy perspective, because in any business, there are strategy. In Red Cross also the same, that strategy is basically data strategy, how a business can enrich and enhance and use their data to make the business data informed decision making. For any business, if as a data analyst, you need to understand what's the purpose of the business and what in high level, in marketing level, it can be marketing level, it can be board level, it can be executive management level, because this data analyst role discipline, you will get experience to work across different business units, different level of insights. Now, first, what you need to understand is what's the data strategy of the business and what are the transformations that business expect based on the data, and as a data analyst, how you can help. So you want to quickly aligning with the any business strategy and understand how that and see the data in the lens of strategy and transformation what business want. Now this is the Red Cross strategy. If you if you look into the Red Cross strategy, you can see as a world largest humanitarian organization, if you talk about retail organization, they also have transaction data. We, in terms of purchases, we also have a transaction data in terms of donations. But depending on the purpose, vision, and mission, the way we look into the data difference. Now, in terms of Red Cross, our priorities are helping people related to humanitarian support to the community. So we are pretty much interested to look into helping people in terms of disaster preparedness, facing climate change kind of crisis, reducing the gaps of health and well-being of the people, issues like migration issues related to these different crises. It can be international humanitarian aspect, it can be climate change aspect. Now, there are large volume of data, variety of data. I am sure that you discuss through in the course 5 V's: variety, volume, velocity, different like the aspects of the diversified data. And we, depending on the data strategy, we are looking into this data in a different way. At the same time, you want to understand how data analytics is positioned. What are the different cross-functional teams that you want to work? It can be research, it can be a marketing team, it can be a partnership team, and also their perspectives. Like some teams might to think in strategy perspective, how this data can be exploit to for the best outcome for the society. Another person might look into the how to enhance this data to create better partnership. Another person, another business unit might look into the data, how to personalize the customer journey. So as a data analyst, if you're going into the industry, you need to quickly understand, okay, there are a lot of data set. Data might be in a central location. It might be enterprise data warehouse. So in that data, you need to have the business acumen to help business in that context and whatever their vision. Business data science, when we are talking the data science, one of the emerging topic is data science ethics. Now, this will be very important because there are a lot of algorithms that you can use for one particular problem. At the same time, we can implement different solutions to the same data set to achieve maybe the same objective. But each and every solution can be different when it comes to when we look the things in data ethics perspective. When it comes to data ethics, it's a full spectrum. That means that is the ultimate objective that data scientists need to be aware and should be able to achieve in a solution perspective. It looking every angle. So it is addressing how a data science team composition, whether there is a gender equality in the data scientist in that team, whether data sampled, the representation done properly. At the same time, with what is the bias and variance of the algorithm. All these aspects address in this data science ethics. And when we apply data science ethics, you need to aware what are the values of your organization. Now, Red Cross has certain culture, value, and when we implement certain algorithms, when we dive into the data, we have our that means our guidelines with matching the required ethics. At the same time, another different company, when they look into the data, they might look into it different ways when developing a solution. And also, I'm sure you have learned some materials which explain the data science roadmap of a certain organization. You might learn this pyramid. Now, there is a data, information, we transform information to knowledge and eventually wisdom. Now, that process is quite a journey to an organization. Not all the organizations in the same position in terms of journey. Some are well into still doing reporting. Some are in data visualization point of advanced visualization using visualization tool. Some are in now at the machine learning, developing predictive modeling stage. And some have very good ecosystem to achieve the entire spectrum aspects of the machine learning and utilize those capabilities to data informed decision making. Is there any question at this so far, or that means if anyone can interrupt, I am happy to spend like 2-3 minutes at this point. Now, as a data analyst, let's assume you are going into an organization. Now, in the organization perspective, you need to aware a little bit about uh, what are the infrastructure, what is the data scientist mean to a business. Now, this is actually showing what is the Red Cross data science strategy and the team aligning with IT and the business. When it comes to the data strategy, not only not defining the data science, but also data governance, and it's a full spectrum. And the cyber security also play a role in this journey. Risk management, audit, governance, all has, and technology, all are part of that. Perhaps some other data, not the data analytics, data science analytics, but some other external team might manage certain aspects of this data journey. It's completely up to the organization how to positioning this data science and analytics team to enhance the data informed decision making. But what you need to aware is these components are very important in very higher level management to form a strategy, form a data strategy to an organization. And as a data analyst, you need to aware how this concept is formed, whatever the organization you are serving. It is helpful for data analysts to serve better, because data informed decision making is a very important, and having the entire business vision is very important for data analyst. Now, data science infrastructure play a key role. Now, I am little bit dive into the data science and analytics perspective, and there are a lot of infrastructure. Now, I am now presenting the infrastructure that has owned by a data science team. We have a AWS SageMaker. We have Microsoft platforms as well, Azure platform. But I just bring this to demonstrate how different third-party CRM data can be integrated into a data infrastructure, and then eventually build a data lake, and then bringing machine learning and visualization capabilities to the business. I'm sure that in your learning, you will learn in the future what is like data governance and what is the role of a data lake in that perspective, single source of truth, those aspects, and how to enhance the quality of data, because it's also part of the data other than machine learning and AI perspective. If I little bit explain about infrastructure, these all aspects are important for infrastructure perspective, data quality, modeling, simulation, privacy issues, security, trust, statistical perspective. So when creating value from the data, infrastructure is very important. And when designing and developing an infrastructure for data, we need to consider all these aspects. I think if you are moving to a data engineering, this is very important aspect, because the data engineering perspective, databases and infrastructure play a major role. At the same time, if any data analyst work with customer experience marketing team, then you need to understand how uniquely construct a customer value proposition based on your data. So there are different business strategies to properly execute that business strategy. Data informed decision making is very important, and in that data informed decision making, identify the customer value proposition and enhancing the customer journey, personalize and enhancing the customer satisfaction play a main role. So if you will come across like personalization recommendation model, customer lifetime value model, churn retention model, segmentation models, sentiment analysis, kind of such models which is directly helpful for businesses to understanding the customer and customer behavior and enhancing the business decision making and also enhancing the customer experience. So that's another aspects of the data analyst and the data, the someone who work in the data. This is a typical personalization model. I'm not quite sure that you have done collaborative filtering, like gradient boosting, decision trees kind of model. But I'm sure that you will go through neural networks. So I will tell you to learn a little bit about collaborative filtering. It's very classic personalized recommendation model, very easy to understand. And there are gradient boost classification model, which is very powerful when the data is not very large, which can be applied neural network. So light GBM is a very good tool. So this is a typical personalization model. Now, I have few collaborations that I would like to present. One is actually UTS. UTS looking into helping not-for-profit organizations and industries to enhance the organization's data-informed decision-making journey. I will quickly share this presentation, which was recently presented by UTS to Red Cross. It's a part of the collaboration.
My name is Idris Asolbi. I'm a PhD student at School of Computer Science.
Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear it.
Okay.
University of Technology, Sydney. I'm supervised by Dr. Mukesh Prasad and Dr. Reno Garwal. Our research project is to build an artifact to analyze donors' behaviors in non-profit organizations. So why we are conducting this research project? When we conducted our literature review on the application of data analytics in non-profit organizations, we found that non-profit organizations, or most of them, they have some challenges, such as lack of resources, human, technical, and expertise. Also, there is a high expenses to develop data analytics systems to analyze donors' behaviors, and also privacy and intended discriminations as reported in the literature. For this reason, 90% of non-profit organizations, they collect data, but this data is unutilized. This led us to be motivated to design a decision support system to analyze donors' behaviors. Donors' behaviors could be donors' intention, donors' frequency, and the same thing would be applied for volunteers as well. The data helps us to resolve certain problems by describing and predicting those behaviors, and also using the machine learning techniques. Also, that can be helpful for non-profit organizations. In our research project, our research methodology follows Pepper's data science framework. We have 6 stages. Most importantly, we have an evaluation stage. During this evaluation, we will be collaborating with non-profit organizations, especially data science and decision support experts, to evaluate our framework, our data requirements, our design requirements, our design principles, and our design features, and also to validate the models later on. Our aim with non-profit organizations through this collaboration, we aim to validate our framework in the involved stages, especially the evaluation. The evaluation will include several interviews and during our 3 iterations in the previous framework. At this stage, we have initial collaboration with data science and analytics team at Australian Red Cross. This will help us, by this collaboration, to robust our research project and validated our models with data science disease support system experts in non-profit organizations. Also, this collaboration will help humanity by uplifting data-informed decision-making capabilities for charities. Thank you.
Okay, so that actually explain a certain case study that if you can study how we articulate a certain business, certain objectives based on the data analytics for having a vision in mind, serving humanity. So as an Australian Red Cross, that organization which focus mainly the humanity, data analyst can focus certain data sets to achieve the humanitarian objectives. If you are going into the retail, that different, it is now your articulation of the problem should be aligning with their vision. So I present that as a case study for you to think about how how to align it with the business and think, articulate a data problem to serve the vision and mission of the organization. Now, there are different collaborations with the Australian Red Cross. We have recently done climate change related research. The objective was, there are First Nations people. We all know climate change is an impact for everyone. As a group that which more close to the environment, First Nation people also getting huge impact because of the climate change. We have a project to gather data from different sensor networks and helping First Nation people to share their thoughts, feelings, and mitigating their risks related to climate change. It's a big project. There are different data aspects, collecting data, IoT, when collecting the data, some of the security measures need to be considered, and development of the mobile application, collecting the data and then eventually analyze and visualize. So it's a very different, it's a one single problem which need to address multiple data analytics issues, and it require platforms, networking, different knowledge in different platforms. That's just for you again to understand what are the emerging topics in the industry for the sustainability and humanitarian aspects. And as a data analyst, how, or as a volunteer, then you can help. Now, like we all know that a lot of data is collecting from different platforms. Now, COVID-19 also another example that a lot of data sources are emerging. And if you want to help for the society or for the sustainability perspective, you can analyze this data and think how it can be, that effort can be helped for the society. This is another project we conducted in related to climate change. The objective of this project is collecting the acoustic data from around Australia and analyze that data and check is there any climate change cause effects on natural soundscape. There are research done. There are huge impact from the climate change to the natural soundscape, and that can impact on the psychological aspects of the certain groups in the society. So we present that in a certain conference, and UTS also have a partnership. I'm not going into that in detail, but it's a very interesting project capturing lot of data from IoT networks, sensors, and eventually collecting lot of data and then analyze that data for the better for the humanitarian perspective. Now, in terms when it comes to AI, there are some people, some organizations develop certain AI algorithms which is harmful for sustainability of the society. There are great discussions going on how to deal with the autonomous weapons kind of applications. Now, as a data analyst and AI, you also need to aware what are the ethics that you need to align to serve humanity rather than use this data for destructive purposes. That is also very important. And there are very good opportunities in helping people like aged care. There are computer vision algorithms, robotics, and there are projects that you can collaborate and helping those projects to in data analytics perspective. There are a lot of opportunities that as a data analyst that you can contribute to the society. So as I explained, I can talk lot of projects. So as a summary, what I want to tell you is in as 5 V's explained, data is collecting in a various ways, and there are a lot of values in this data in commercial and humanitarian aspects. As a data analyst, you have a very big responsibility if you are joining into an organization to drive the business. You are a leader when it comes to data, and when you join as a data analyst to drive the data informed decision making process of the business, which will be the core competency. If you are successful, it will be a core competency of the business to become successful in their own business. I'm not going into more projects, but I think I passed the message what you want, and based on yours related to this course, you can ask any question if you have. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so if there is no question, then we will welcome to our third guest speaker. But before that, thanks, Mahendra, again for your timing and talking different aspects of the data analytics in different areas.
Thank you.
And is it okay to share your contact details to a student?